Okay, question 7. This is a quadrilateral, so all four corners must make a total of 360 degrees. But as I can see, this corner here is already 90. My three angles, written as algebraic terms, must come to a total of just 270. 6x equals 270. Dividing by 6, x must be worth 45. If you look at part B, it talks about sides AD and sides BC, and whether they are parallel. If two sides are going to be parallel, the angle they make with the side AB must be the same. So for example, if this was side AB, then we would be looking for two angles here and here that would be exactly the same size. I can see from the picture that this one is already 90, and 2x here, 245s would also be 90, meaning that I do have a pair of parallel sides, because the angle at A and the angle at B would be corresponding angles. Angles at A and B are corresponding, therefore parallel. Question 8. Keyword in this one is the word estimate. I'm not working anything out exactly. I'm rounding everything to one significant figure. So the first thing I'm going to do on the side of the page here, so that I don't get distracted, is round it all to 1 SF. 41.3 would become 40. 29.6 would become 30. And 198.7 would become 200. Putting the calculation back together, I'd have 40 multiply 30 on the top, divided by 200 on the bottom. 4 3s are 12. The 2 zeros make it 1,200, divided by the 200 on the bottom. Cancelling some zeros, I've actually just got 2 divided into 12, which is 6. Question B is using a known fact. So this here is going to guide me through the rest of the question. If you have a look at part A, the first one has got 10 times bigger and the second one has got 10 times bigger. So my answer will need to be made 100 times bigger. 10 times bigger because of that one, 10 times bigger because of that one. 10 times bigger would have just moved everybody over so that there wouldn't have been the need for the decimal point. The other 10 times bigger will actually move them all over again. So I get a 0 on the end because they've moved two place values or multiplied by 100. If you look at part B and part C, these are to do with division. So as I already have the answer number here identical to the answer number in the question, but I'm dividing it by the equivalent of the 54, I know my answer is based around the 842. As the number that I'm dividing by has actually got 10 times smaller, so the number I'm divided by was divided by 10, then the answer is actually made 10 times bigger. So that 84.2 would be made 10 times bigger. So it wouldn't be 84.2, it'd be 842. If you think about it logically and used rounding to help, this would be the same as having 5,000 divided by a 5, which is going to be around about 1,842, is pretty close. In part C, because they've used the second number and the answer, My answer will be based around the digits 5 and 4. In the question, the top number has been divided by 10. The bottom number has stayed the same. If the top number is divided by 10, then so is the number that you're dealing with. The denominator is always slightly different. So it's going to be 5.4. Think about it logically. This is similar to having 500 divided by 84, which is going to be around about 5 times. Question 9. This is the OCW question on the paper. So this means that I get those 2 extra marks for being organised, for making sure that I put units on all my answers, and if there's any formula that I can write down to help explain the calculations that I'm doing, I must remember to include them. In the diagram below, ABCD is a rectangle. So A, B, C, D is the big rectangle here. And it also tells you that PQ is parallel to AD. The area of the ABCD, this entire area is with 52. And then they also tell you that the APQD is with 20. APQD is just this bit, and this bit is just with 20. So if I know this bit is with 20, and I know the whole thing is with 52, then this bit must be with 32 centimetres squared. So area BCQP equals ABCD, take away APQD. It's what I just wrote above. 52 take away 20 equals 32 centimetres squared. So that explains what I just put onto the picture. Area of a rectangle is length times width. So area BCQR equals QC times BC equals 8 times BC, and we already know that's with 32. So BC equals 32 divided by 8. BC equals 4 centimetres. So I'm going to put 4 centimetres on my picture. I'm being quite thorough because of the OCW. So I wrote down my formula, I'm putting centimetres squared on my answers, I'm labelling everything so you know exactly what I'm working out and where. Now I need to find G. Well, I'm going to put the 4 centimetres on the other side of the picture, and then I'm going to write BC equals AD equals 4 centimetres to explain that I know that they're the same. And then I'm going to do a similar layout now for the other one. So area, this one's called APQD equals AD multiplied by DQ. AD is 4 multiplied by DQ, which I don't know, but I know that this is with 20. So DQ equals the 20 divided by 4, DQ equals 5 centimetres. Making sure that I've got centimetres or centimetres squared on the end of every calculation, because if I leave any units out, I could lose those marks. Just going to add on my picture.